Good day, everyone. Welcome to Dark Chronicles. Hello, everyone. It's your girl T Gold. Welcome back to another episode of Dark Chronicles. So, you all know what this show is about and how we do it here. And I'm going to be your host once again today. Murder has remained one of the most heinous crimes in the history of humanity, and it's not about to stop. Every day we hear of one's death, probably in one's home, office, roadside, or anywhere else. Many of these murder cases remains unsolved, becomes cold cases, and most times finally gets dropped. In today's video, I'm going to bring to you top murder cases that remains unsolved in the history of Nigeria today. So, I'm going to go over to the first person on my list. I want you to know that this list is not arranged in any order, but I try to bring out people that are actually relevant in the Nigerian society today. Most of these cases made waves in the media when it happened. So, I'm going to start with the first person on the list. We have Sumonu Oladele Giwa, popularly known as Dele Giwa. Dele Giwa was born on March 16, 1947, to a family working in the palace of Oba Adesoji Aderemi, the Ooni of Ife. He attended the local authority modern school in Lagere, Ile-Ife. When his father moved to Odua College, Ile-Ife, as a laundryman, he gained admission to that school. Dele Giwa traveled to the United States of America for his higher education, earning a Bachelor of Arts in English from Brooklyn College in 1977. He worked at the New York Times as a news assistant for 4 years, after which he relocated to Nigeria to work with Daily Times. Dele Giwa was killed by a parcel bomb in his home at Ikeja, Lagos, while in his study with Kayode Soyinka on Sunday, October 19th, 1986. This murder case remained unsolved till this day, as no perpetrator was brought to book. Yeah, so that is the sad story of Dele Giwa, a renowned journalist in the history of Nigeria. This man was killed, like I have said, and yeah, we still do not know those that were behind his death. So I'm going to go over to the second person on our list today. We have Bola Ige. Chief James Ajibola Idowu Ige, senior advocate of Nigeria, simply known as Bola Ige, was a Nigerian lawyer and politician. He also served as Federal Minister of Justice for Nigeria. He was the governor of Oyo State between 1979 to 1983. On 23rd December 2001, Ige was shot dead at his home in the southwestern city of Ibadan. He had been entangled in squabbles within his Alliance for Democracy party in Ogun State. The previous week, the long-running feud between Osun State Governor Bisi Akande and his deputy Iyola Omishore had apparently contributed to the death of an Osun State legislator, Odunayo Olagbaju. I'm very sorry if I murdered that name, I'm not Yoruba. The government of President Olusegun Obasanjo deployed troops in southwestern Nigeria to try to prevent a violent reaction to the murder. Although various people were arrested and tried for involvement in the murder, including Iyola Omishore, all were acquitted. To this very day, this murder remains unsolved. Yes, so that is the second person on our list, Chief Biola Ige. Despite being a very renowned person in Nigeria, he was killed in cold blood, and nobody to this day knows who must have carried out the crime. Maybe possibly because way back there was no, all those DNA tests and stuff like that. But in a system like that of Nigeria, I think something like that can still repeat itself. But anyways, that is it for that one. So we're going over to the third person on our list. We have Eunice Olawale. Eunice Olawale was a Nigerian Christian female preacher who was murdered by suspected Muslim extremists in the early hours of July 9th, 2016, evangelizing in the federal capital city of Abuja. Eunice usually left her home every morning at 5 a.m. before dawn to evangelize, usually referred to as morning cry. In the streets of Abuja, several days before her gruesome murder, She overheard nearby Muslims comment about her preaching that she should be chased away. She also overheard another conversation from a mosque behind their home, which implied that her preaching wasn't the truth about God. After she informed her husband about what she heard, he cautioned her to be careful. After those incidents, Eunice suspended her daily morning evangelism for about a week, after which she resumed. A Muslim cleric who came to the house requested for food for his Islamic school. After she stated that she didn't have any food to give to him, he left. Eunice was murdered on the 9th of July 2016 after she left the house at the usual time to preach. According to several media reports, Eunice was murdered between 5 a.m. and 5:30 a.m. Accounts differ as to the exact manner she was murdered. Several reports stated that she was beheaded and stabbed. Other sources state that she was stabbed multiple times in the stomach and the leg before bleeding to death. After several investigations, her killers are yet to be found. And that is the sad end of Mrs. Eunice. Now, in a country like Nigeria, where someone is gruesomely murdered, and yet you cannot pinpoint anybody who was behind the crime. And then there's one thing about this type of murders: they end up killing someone in the most gruesome way possible. Like, according to the media reports, you could actually like picture a way that this lady was murdered. And I know how religious extremists in Nigeria, how they murder people. They make sure that you die a very painful death. So sadly, we don't know the people or the person behind the death of Mrs. Eunice. Now I'm going to go over to the fourth person on the list today, on our list of unsolved murder cases in the history of Nigeria. We have Chief Marshal Alex Bade. Former Chief of Defense Staff Air Chief Marshal Alex Bade retired. Along the Abuja-Kefi Expressway, a large number of Nigerians are still skeptical whether the real killers have been found, although the police said to have arrested some suspects who admitted to killing the former CDS. More than a few Nigerians have raised eyebrows on the development. Bade was murdered on December 18th, 2018, while returning from the farm. He was the only person killed out of the 3 occupants of the vehicle. This continued to fuel the speculation that it was not a robbery attack but assassination, and since has turned into a cold case. And in case I forgot to mention, a cold case is the type of case where several investigations have been carried out, different findings have been made, and yet there is no substantial evidence to bring anyone to book. The case can therefore be dropped and called a cold case. So this case became a cold case, and like you heard from what I said earlier, it's very obvious that this was a targeted attack, because how would you rob people and you don't take anything from it? Like, I think robbery is stealing stuff from people, but in this situation, this vehicle was robbed. No other person was hurt. Nothing was taken away from the vehicle but the life of one of the occupants. So I think you should be able to put one or two things together. So that is the star story of that person, Chief Alex. Okay, now we're moving over to the last person on our list today. We have Funshaw Williams. Another unsolved murder case is the July 2006 assassination of Funshaw Williams, a PDP governorship aspirant in Lagos State. He was found bound, strangled, and stabbed at his home in Dolphin Estate, Ikoyi, Lagos. Although the police arraigned some suspects before the court, Justice Adeneyi Adebajo of the Lagos High Court freed the suspects charged with Williams' murder for lack of evidence by the prosecution. So, yeah, that is the story of Funshaw Williams. Now, this is a governorship aspirant, and then suddenly, in the midst of the whole planning of election and everything, the person is suddenly killed in his home. And you know, you can't just arrest anybody or bring anybody to book without any evidence. So after all said and done, after all investigation, nobody was brought to book, and that happens to be the end of that particular person. So these are the 5 gruesome murder cases that has remained unsolved to this day. So I hope you enjoyed listening to those ones. I know you must have heard about other unsolved murder cases in the history of Nigeria, but these are the ones I'm able to bring to you today. Thank you for being with me again on this episode of Dark Chronicles. My name is Ude Justina, also known as T-Gold, your host on this exciting journey of unusual events, like I said. I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.